Chung in the driver's seat.
What should you start the hand with, approximately?
Condio mom.
7.5, right at 8.
All right, I'm all in.
Chung, the biggest stack in the room, re-raises Condio all in. That gets everyone's attention.
Chung has the big stack and the best hand. If Condio calls here, the November 9 will just be another date on his calendar.
Condio giving this some thought.
I call.
And he makes the call, Norman.
Oh, Filippo.
Wow.
That's it.
And Condio steps into the abyss. And he knows his bid to become the first Italian-born player to make the main event final table is all but over.
How do you say blow up in Italian? Almost 27 million chips in the balance and Filippo Condio at risk.
Can you believe how many chips Joseph Chung is going to have if he wins this hand?
Oh, my goodness, over 40 million.
Condio was in knee-deep, and now he is in neck-deep.
Condio looks at a turn card now of an 8 of spades. Chung still ahead. Condio picks up an up and down straight draw. That's got everyone buzzing.
Chung still in position to become the runaway chip leader. No signs of singing from Condio, but there's still some hope on the horizon. Condio would need a 4, 5, or 9, or he is busted.
All right, now the river card is the 4!
I would call that excessive good fortune.
Runner straight for Condio. Chung wonders why me?
Boy, that celebration looked like a scientific experiment gone awry.
Filippo Condio is the man of the hour. Joseph Chung knocked down to 7th place.
He absorbs the blow silently. Condio called all in with a 13% chance to survive a runner straight, and he is now the chip leader.
Just when Chung looked like the 40 million chip man, a miraculous turn of events gives Filippo Condio almost 27 million chips and suddenly
main event.
Welcome back to the Rio, proving this is a game for all legal ages. You see the oldest and youngest to ever win the main event and the oldest to ever play in the main event. 96-year-old Jack Ivey jumping jacks in a hand right now. After the flop, his grandson Seth Harold by his side.
I'll bet one.
Jack bets 1,000 on the flop of 6-6-7.
You don't want to just get them all in?
In a hand against Steven Friedlander, who moves all in.
You might as well just get them all in.
Hey, don't push around my man, Jack Ivey.
Jack gonna make the call. Yeah, puts himself at risk. Friedlander shows a full house. This might be it for Jack Ivey.
You're in trouble.
Show us.
Easy fingers in trouble right now.
Show us.
Go ahead, turn around. Turn over.
Turn over.
Show us.
Pockets for a better full house.
And Jack Ivey will survive this all-in unless the last 6 of the deck hits.
That's a 4 on the turn. He's still good. River card's a deuce, and Jack Ivey doubles up.
I can't wait until I'm 96 years old, have the best hand, and slow roll some punk half my age.
Now in this case, the button is actually going to act first pre-flop. It gets to act last post-flop.
6-7 of hearts will open the pot. It's the hand that Tom Dwan has in front of him right now. Phil Ivey with an ace.
Ivey going to raise this up to 23,000.
Yes.
In position, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a call from Tom Dwan here. 17,000 more though. That's an overraise.
Tom Dwan thinking about what to do here. He's got 7-6 of hearts.
Ironically enough, we have a coin toss before the flop.
I mean, Robert, who has the edge in this game? I'm looking. Patrick Antonius, Tom Dwan, Phil Ivey. 3 of the best in the world. Who's got the edge?
I'd be guessing if I told you. I don't really know.
Well, go ahead and guess. I'm curious.
I have to say Phil Ivey overall, but it's a close one, real close.
Well, Tom Dwan is going to call. We're going to see a flop. Jack 5-3. Both players pick up a gut shot. If the 4 falls, talk about an action card.
especially if it's not a club.
If a 4 falls, we're going to see some action. Ivey with a 4 would make the wheel. A 4 would give Dwan the nuts, as long as it's not a 4 of clubs, like you said.
Yep.
Phil Ivey bets out $35,000 into this pot.
Pot is an astonishing $84,500. There's no going back from this.
This is a tough call for Tom Dwan, actually. He's got enough gamble. He's capable of calling here.
Well, it's not just calling for a 4, you're calling to float as well. And
Cool.
In position.
he can call to represent clubs. He can call to represent that he's got a pair of 5s, a jack.
Cool.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh, wow. This is unbelievable. Ivey cannot win this pot, but he's made a straight.
Both players have a straight.
Talk about the gin card. Ivey makes the wheel. Dwan has the absolute nuts.
We could see the largest pot ever in televised poker history.
There's 75,000.
80, 85,
90.
90,000.
90,000. Phil Ivey bets $90,000. If you're Tom Dwan, what do?
Wow, with a flush draw out there, I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and raise right here. But I'm not going to raise my whole stack. I'm going to raise it about 200,000 more. Make it look like I can still lay my hand down. Maybe 150 more even.
Now, Ivey's one of the best in the world, but can he get away from a wheel? He's made the straight. Both players have made the straight. Tom Dwan with the absolute nuts. Oh, talk about a gin card on the turn. Well, the biggest pot in the history of televised poker is just over 900,000. We have a chance of breaking that right here. Tom Dwan with the nuts. The 7 high straight. Phil Ivey with the 5 high straight.
He's definitely going to raise here.
The pot is $209,000. The action is on Tom Dwan.
Unbelievable.
142.6.
And the raise is 142,000 more.
More.
And this is where we're going to see how good is Phil Ivey. He's staring at Dwan's stack, trying to figure out where he's at.
258.
Can I have it all? Can I get all those chips?
I don't think Ivey can get away from this hand, but I'll tell you what, he is considered the best cash game player in the world. If anybody can get away, it's Phil Ivey.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know if Ivey wants to get away.
I'm all in.
And he's
all in! Oh my gosh.
Ivey is all in. Dwan calls with the nuts. Ivey cannot win this pot.
Wow. Good hand.
Oh my gosh.
That's no good.
We have just broken poker television history. 1.1 million in this pot.
And he's drawing dead.
It is the biggest pot in the history of televised poker. And it's going to Tom Dwan. He's got the nut straight.
We just saw poker history made right here tonight.
26, 36, 96.
And they're counting the chips right now.
Back over to the 8 players at table 2 now.
Jonathan Duhamel looks down at pocket jacks.
Duhamel craves action, and he says when you're bored, you raise a lot more. Well, here he's got a hand to raise with.
And he's going to raise it. $575,000. Now to Matt Affleck with pocket aces.
Hello, pocket aces. You go, Matt.
I think if he makes the final table, he might wear a Seattle Mariners tuxedo, Norman. And Matt on the button with a re-raise to $1,550,000. Small blind folds over to Dewey Lay and the big blind. And Dewey folds. So now back to Duhamel.
With tricky pocket jacks.
Raise.
And he says re-raise himself to just over $3.9 million.
Duhamel's interest is peaked. And Affleck could 5-bet it here, even go all in.
Matt Affleck with 2 aces against the pocket jacks of Duhamel. And Matt just with the call.
Well, Affleck is out-chipped by Duhamel, and he'd like to get as many of those chips as possible.
2 of the top 5 stacks see a flop of 10-9-7. Affleck still good with his aces. Duhamel picks up a gut shot. And he checks. Affleck.
Matt moves deliberately, but decisively.
With the aces. And Duhamel, a very interested observer. That's $5 million from Matt.
Affleck hoping Duhamel has a big pocket pair because he'll get at least 5 million more chips here.
Matt's buddies looking a little nervous on the sidelines.
Duhamel's going to call. And, you know, if those chips fall over, someone's got to yell Jenga.
Well, he does make the call. Over $18 million in the middle.
Big pot now, and we could have a big change in the pecking order.
Turn card is a queen of diamonds. Duhamel now with an up and down straight draw. Matt's ace is still good, though.
Yeah, that card line gives Duhamel more outs if he thinks he's up against a big pair or a set.
Duhamel checks again.
Affleck in his familiar pose.
He says all in for $11.6 million. So now back to Duhamel with the jacks and the up and down straight draw.
A huge decision for Duhamel. He's not getting the right price to call, and he'd be left with just over 8 million chips if he loses. He's got to believe Matt wouldn't push here with anything less than aces, kings, or a set, no?
Duhamel thinking very seriously about this.
Call.
And makes the call.
Tens and nines.
Kings, right?
I'm shocked by the call line. Look at the pot. Affleck on the brink of becoming the huge chip leader. Duhamel, if he gets lucky, would be an overwhelming chip leader.
So Affleck way ahead, 1 card away from putting a huge hurt on Duhamel. Everyone on pins and needles here at the Rio. This will be the biggest river card of the tournament.
A defining moment here late at this main event, Lon. Jonathan Duhamel just wants to disappear inside that hood if he could. Matt Affleck is going to have 41 million chips or no chips. He needs to dodge a king, jack, or 8.
The river card. Oh, it's an 8! A crushing blow to Matt Affleck. Duhamel hit his card and eliminates young Matt Affleck.
He's got to be heartbroken.
Affleck thunderstruck.
Last year, the blow-up, and he finished 80th. This year, the bad beat, and he finishes 15th.
Affleck so close to the prize. He had overcome some earlier setbacks only to fight back and become a major factor again, but now he's gone.
In back-to-back years, he comes so far, gets so close, and leaves so crushed.
He was 1 card from all but locking up a seat at the final table, but now Matt Affleck's main event dream is shattered. All his chips go to Duhamel, who now has over 50 million.
It's as if he's in shock. It's as if he can't leave.
Matt Affleck will try once again to deal with the realization of a dream gone amiss, and gets a well-deserved round of applause from the crowd here in the Rio Poker Room as he finally makes his way to the exit. One man's bounty is another man's demise.
A delayed, understandable outburst from Matt.
Matt Affleck knocked out in stunning fashion yet again. Geller now. Kings full and a check mark will raise it to 6,000.
Well, now Geller's check looks brilliant. He's got Romanello trapped.
Mattisel gets out of the way. Now to Romanello. Needs 4,200 to call.
Just don't raise me.
Geller playing games with Romanello.
You sure if I pass? Pardon me? You sure if I pass? No. One time? No.
The only thing preventing Romanello from pushing all in, and I would have yelled out Heidi Ho an hour ago, was that Geller made a big pre-flop raise, so he could have pocket aces or pocket kings. And unless Romanello's going Hollywood on us, he's actually considering mucking his jacks full, which would be an unconscious laydown. I mean, if he lays this down, I'll move to a Franciscan monastery and become head chef.
Okay, I'll show.
Geller trying to move things along.
Is he really thinking of folding this?
Okay.
He does.
No way he folds.
Yeah, you said he would. Let's go. Fold. You're out. Your hand's dead. Let's go.
And shows.
Wow. How do you fold that hand?
Romanello folds jacks full.
Wow.
And that is the player's good instinct moment.
Oh my God. I could never have folded that hand. Unbelievable.
Nice fold.
Wow. Okay, I would never have folded that hand. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I knew I was beat. That is the fold of the tournament that I've ever seen.
Are there even grocery stores near monasteries?
How do I draw tables with people like this? I mean, there's 72 million idiots out there, and I got to drop guys laying jacks full down and being right.
Romanello may sell fish for a living, but he showed he's not one there. Despite the disparity between the first and eighth place players, it's still anyone's ball game. John Dolan folds over to the chip leader, Jonathan Duhamel. Jack 10 off.
His drill every day of the main event, breakfast, and a little shadow boxing when he gets to the poker room. Then he puts on his hoodie. I did that exact same routine on my third honeymoon.
Duhamel thrives on opening pots, and he does raise to 1.4 million. Mizrachi with ace, queen of diamonds.
His final table mantra is, I don't care. So much on the line, but to reduce pressure, he says, I don't care.
Grinder played very little live poker before coming to the World Series this year, but then went on to play 42 of 57 events. And he makes the call here. Jarvis with pocket nines.
He says the sunglasses allow him to get into his own zone. When the shades are on, he's fearless.
Come on.
Jarvis going for it all in for just over 14 million. And that brings his dad, Norm Jarvis, to his feet.
Jarvis has about 23 big blinds left.
Condio in the small blind with 8-6 off. He will not play that. Jason Sentai now with the short stack, Queen Jack. And he folds. So the raise back to Duhamel. No thank you.
How much more is that?
It's for more than half of Mizrachi's stack. Does Grinder want to take that much of a risk on ace-queen, chasing player of the year, chasing history, and chasing $9 million?
A critical moment for Mizrachi, who needs almost $13 million to call.
I call.
And he does make that call. Jarvis now at risk, but a lot on the line for the Grinder as well.
And now Matt Jarvis's hope of becoming the first Canadian main event champion hangs in the balance.
Matt Jarvis ahead right now. His family hoping he can extend his main event stay. Jarvis at risk. Now here's the flop. Queen, 8, queen! Mizrachi flops trip queens.
And Grinder shoves Matt Jarvis towards the exit.
Matt's family is stunned. Now, he seems to be taking it well. All right, the turn card. Oh, and there's the 9! 9's full for Jarvis.
What a turn of events.
Oh, my goodness.
Where else but the main event can you find such a wave of changing emotion? Grinder now on the verge of becoming the short stack. Matt Jarvis all but gone. Looks like he's going to stick around.
Norm Jarvis hoping Matt can fade disaster on the river.
Small card. Such a final table sweat.
Grinder would need an ace, queen, or 8 to knock out Matt Jarvis.
It's an ace!
Oh, mama!
No way!
It's not possible, is it?
And the roller coaster ride comes to an end for Jarvis. Jarvis.
What was an almost certain double-up is now an 8th place finish. Dad cannot believe it. Grinder getting absolutely swarmed by his friends and family, while Jarvis gets some well wishes from his competitors.
So many emotional ups and downs for this family. So many ups and downs in this main event for Matt Jarvis. The Mizrachi clan continues their celebration. Grinder now 3rd in chips, while on the other side of the stage,